Hello and welcome everybody. Today we will have another English video here on Solo Capor, the Solo Fish Solo Gaming channel, and it will be about here's the Rukus or RUCKUS. I didn't check how to pronounce it correctly. Maybe you can fill it in the comments. And it's a game for 2 players, but I played solo, no problem. The only thing is to say it's a skirmish game, and sometimes I will use Slovak with terms because there are some really funny words that I didn't know and I had to translate them. Like for example, and here fell down a ruin. Like for example, the Rukus itself, it means hurhai, so to make noise, and well, it's I guess because of the shields and all the stuff that the guys in this war used. Because this is a skirmish game, which means, again, a funny word in Slovak, it's šarvátka, like when the groups of fighters, warriors, soldiers meet and fight against each other. So it's not a big scale war, it's a skirmish game, regularly 12 person per side, 12 character per side. The sides are called Retinues, which is another funny Slovak word, and it is družina. I had really to translate the retinue, the Rukus, and the skirmish too, because we usually we don't use that much these words. They're more archaic, historic words, very suitable for wargaming of this period, which is a period of War of Roses. Again, something that is typical for the English history. Not so much taught in our schools. I knew there were Lancaster and York, and then I checked that the Game of Thrones had been inspired heavily by this war, which lasted about 30 or 33 years. I don't remember exactly now. At first I thought it's the 30 years war, but that's another war. So, well, many wars, but the skirmish format for this one is very good. And my cat came. He wants to be the star of this video. And ciao, Xander. And so, because in this period, different lords were in war against each other to seize power. For whether the Lancaster, and this is what he does always. He destroys the carefully made game table. Well, there a tree has fallen. Okay. So I will not go into very in details in the rules, because you can just buy Wargames Illustrated magazine. It's which issue? It's issue 437, and there you find the full free rules. There will be more rules, and there are already more rules, and you can buy it always, or maybe. Well, we have a problem here to buy this magazine. It is not to get anywhere, so I had to order it from a Polish site. But whatever, you can get it, and you can get it also online on pocketmagazine.com and read it just on your desktop, for example, which I have done with the extra rules. Yeah, so. Now, the game is very interestingly, the groups, the retinues, are very interestingly split into 3 so-called spears. And every spear is ruled by one hero or a squire. This is a monk with the small axe, and he has one billman, which is a standard soldier, and the archer, which is a standard soldier. But our squire has some specialties that we will talk about later. Here is the leader of the whole group, the so-called hero. Also, he has a billman which can support him, and there is a gunman. I use dark monks for the shooters, and here also. Belonging to his spear is a musician and archer, which will become deaf, as I see. Here the third spear, it's a monk with a big axe, and again a billman who will support in melee, and a archer and another archer. The very important rule here is that you have to keep your guys within a spear within 6 inches to the leader of the spear, yes, because if not, then on the end of the round your guys who are not in the range will become feckless, so they will maybe run away. You will have to roll for if they stay or if they run away. Now there are scenarios. You can play scenarios like stealing cattle from a village, or getting hold of some points on the map, and so on and so on. The basic game is you should play it on 3-on-3 table, but I have 3-on-1.5 table. So what can I do? Never mind. It is more intense, at least, because they all get together to the end and in the middle of the map and fight until the death, or until half of one retinue is killed, and then they have to roll. The others who stay in the game have to roll for willpower. So the other things are, the rules are classic. You get some hard terrain which halves your movement here and here and here. When you hide in the woods or behind some barricade, then if they shoot at you, they have to make a blocked shot test. And well, that's it for the most part. There are also rules for fighting in a building, which I haven't tried yet, because I still have to get familiar with the basic rules. Here the game, as you can see, it has started. This is the AI spears for Sir Henry. And if you roll a die, a d3 on 1, he can get aggressive. That means he and his guys will always rush forward, but not stupidly. They will try to hide, but they will rush forward. On a d2, they will play reasonably. So they sometimes go forward, they sometimes go back. It depends on you. Well, and the last, if d3, if you roll 3, it is a defensive player. That means when he will always try to hide somewhere, not to get hit, no risking, no rushing. And on melee, he will use defense as much as possible. The melee here, that's the interesting thing. But here now, the retinue that I play, I got here some shooters. These guys got... These guys were running, and this is an interesting thing. The basic movement is 6, but they can run, that's +3. When they tried to run, but these one become winded, and these two became they stopped. They couldn't run anymore, and they have to. It's called a gambit mishap, like something bad happened. When you roll a 1 on a test, then something bad happens. I won't go into these details more, but a funny thing is when you shoot a bow and you roll a 1, then mishap happens and you can maybe ruin the whole bow. Then that's already a calamity. So here you get two kinds of negative things that can happen. A mishap, that's a smaller one, like you destroy the string of a bow, so one turn you can't shoot. But if a calamity happens, you destroyed your whole bow, you can fight only melee. And if you are an archer, you don't want to fight melee. Believe me. And here the third spear, which is the main one, it is hero Sir John, I think he is called, yes, and he has a very nice minis. I'm not a good painter, but the minis are nice. Yes, it's an archer, billman again, and a shooting monk with a wide beard. I love him. And this is on round 5, okay? Now, to the very much more, the most interesting thing of the game is, this is not the I go you go game. This is a random activation game where you use special cards. Yeah, there are you can print them for free from the online site. So new round 5 starts, and I just turn 1 card, and it's a cunning plan, and I will tell you what that is. But the interesting thing is, the last card will be not turned. The round will end with the last card not turned. This way, you are not sure that your spear will activate. One of them will possibly not activate, which is a handicap, of course, but it's again more realistic because, you know, some of them get tired, some of them argue with the squire or with the hero, so anything can happen like in real life. here now we got a cunning plan, which means we would roll a white. I roll a white for me and a red for Sir Henry, the enemy, and I roll the 6. So that means I would get a card from another deck, which is the deck of cunning plans, and it's a wild card, so I could choose any. But I don't choose, I just take one, a perk. And here, my cunning plan, I can do something special. And I can play it on a hero or on a retainer for a free activation. So if I roll 6, then one of my heroes gets a free activation, and I roll the 1, so nothing happened. Okay, let us see the second card. Big X Monk, as I call this squire here. So he wants to move, because they play aggro, they want to move forward as fast as possible, but not stupidly, okay? So they will hide behind the barrier, like this, like this, like this. And they are already, well, maybe I could have left and I do it. I leave this archer here because he already is in shooting range. And this archer, I don't want to let him back. I don't want to leave him there. I want to send him also here, because if he is not in range, he might become feckless. And well, he had to go over this hedge, so he cannot shoot now. But this archer was standing here, so he can shoot twice, and the range is 24, the long range, and he is in. So he can shoot twice, but at this range he has to roll 6s. And let's say that he is shooting at our boss. But the problem is the boss is hiding. So there will, for the first, 6s, no 6s. If there would have been a 6, then there will be a test for a blocked shot. Again, he had to roll on a block shot, I think, on 4 or more. And he would have hit our hero, and the hero would roll a saving roll, which would be a 1. That's not saving him, and he would get his first wound, because heroes and squires got 3. The heroes got 3 health, and squires got 2 health. Now, for why this game is so very special and different than the other games, that's the melee system, which I can show you briefly. Maybe on these two guys. So here we got Sir John and the Big X Monk here, and now let's say they entered a melee and the attacker was Sir John. Let's say the billman was standing next to Sir John. So the billman would come with Sir John and give him +1 die to rolls, because as many lives you have, that many dice you roll, and even there are some special modifiers then. And now I need more die here, so I take 3 dice, and let's see. So they roll simultaneously, and the defender can say, I want to defend only, then he would get an extra die for defense rolls. But they say, no, we want to attack both. So the attacker rolls and hits in the first round of melee, because the melee is 3 rounds. He rolls a 4, which is a hit. He can now, the other guy, okay, he rolls 2. I would need again a dice. No, never mind. I will show you later. Now, the hero can decide, do I want to trust and reroll 1 die, attack die, or do I want to parry and reroll 1 enemy die? Well, let's say we will trust, and we didn't hit. So we have 1 hit now. Now the enemy, I should use a different die, but whatever, just for illustration purposes. The Big X Monk rolled a 6 and rolled a 4, which are both hits. And since I have 1 hit on him, he can now use the parry. So he wants me to reroll my 1 hit. And I rerolled my 1 hit, and it's a miss. So I didn't hit him at all, but he hit me twice. Now, can I defend it? I defend on 3+, and I defended one but got one hit, which means now I use a token. And this means that on the next round of the melee, my hero will have only 2 die, not 3 die, to fight. And the big X-Monk still, the Squire, still has his 2 die. Now, if I'm wrong here, because it might be, it's very probable, please guys correct me in the comments, because I really, when I play this game for real, I always check in the rules, because I still don't have the mechanics in my head so fully, and especially this melee system is a little bit, I have to say the truth, it's a little bit confusing for me. I never played before such complex melees. Well, not complex, but it's interesting, because in the second round of the melee, you don't hit on 4s, you hit on 5s, because you are a bit tired now. And in the third round, you still hit on 5s, but if your Billman is fighting, or the archers, they hit in the first round on 5s, and the second and the third round on 6s. So yes, it makes logic, but I am not a logical kind. So so please forgive me if I misinterpreted some rules. But anyway, this is what I wanted to show you. This is my first video on the Rukus game. And maybe when I'm better with the rules, maybe I will do a proper gameplay. And until then, I will have to say that the game, well, this game takes me about 1.5 hours to play, well, because I have to recheck the rules. But I'm sure that if you are already familiar with the rules, you are much faster, and you can do it within 1 hour. Or if you have some limit for the number of the rounds, you can do it within 1 hour. And yeah, what else to add? I usually don't make any more videos on skirmish games, so you can understand how impressive this game for me is if I make a video on it, just an introductory video. I'm saying bye-bye from Slovakia. The cat is in the window now. So, and thank you, Mr. Mike Perry, very much for these great rules. I hope I will really get into them and then make a proper gameplay video, because the game has very strong cinematic moments. So, see you later, alligator. Bye-bye.